All right, and welcome to Fast Break Breakfast, NBA podcast. My name is Keith, here alone for a solo interview episode. We got Joey Devine from the Roundball Rock podcast on. We're going to talk all about the All-Star Reserve, sort of sad Rudy Gobert, the Porzingis trade, more and more stuff about that. Also, we didn't get to it, but LeBron James tweeting during the Super Bowl, kind of like begging for a trade or for his coach to get fired. Very good stuff. If you want to support our show, you can do that at patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. You get access to exclusive bonus content that way. A new month of our picking against the spread for NBA games. The Pickle Pick'em Challenge is underway, so if you join today, you won't miss a single moment of February's Pick'em. You'll have a good chance to win the monthly prize. You can join for the low price of just $1. And you get access to some of the bonus content. I'll follow you back on Twitter if I don't yet already. Also, if you listen to the show, we kind of feel like you owe us $1. So maybe just you want to help us out, support us there. Also, if you're shopping for tickets, SeatGeek.com is the place to do it. They collate all the other ticket sites. They show you the best deal available. And if you use our code FASTBREAK, you get $20 off your first purchase. That's the same as the Twitter handle, FastBreakBreak. You use it as a promo code at checkout. You get $20 off any ticket purchase, whether it's for comedy or NBA or hockey or music, whatever you do. If you're shopping for tickets, you're using the secondary markets, go to SeatGeek.com, use our code FastBreakBreak. All right, now let's talk basketball with the very funny Joey Devine. My guest today is a comedian and the permanent temporary host of the Roundball Rock podcast, Joey Devine. Joey, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Keith. How you doing?
Doing great.
I'm excited for no more NFL, baby.
Holy. Is the Pro Bowl's over? They used to do that after the Super Bowl, but I guess they do that before the Super Bowl now, huh?
Does the Pro Bowl count as football anyway, though?
I've never seen a Pro Bowl. I feel like I have a memory of Warren Moon throwing a touchdown wearing a red jersey. I think that's from the Pro Bowl of like my childhood.
But that also might be from the USFL, I think.
It could be. I was alive during the USFL. I don't think I ever saw any actual live game. I mean, I loved the NFL up until like 5 years ago, and I just kind of stopped following. Did you watch? Did you watch the big game yesterday?
No, I
was saying the Bickerstaff Fizdale Knicks Grizzlies showdown.
Oh, you watched
that was the big game.
Are you Nate Duncan on election night? What are you doing?
That's my team, Joe. No, I'm getting as much mileage as I can about the. Did you watch the big game? Oh no, I'm talking Knicks Grizzlies. No. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
No, I actually delivered food all day yesterday.
Oh, like Meals on Wheels out of the goodness of your heart?
No, as in driving for an app for slave wages.
I've done that. I've done the Uber. I've done the driving, for slave wages for Uber, but it was more of a hobby, so I didn't feel as distraught by the whole enterprise.
Yeah, I drive for a couple of the different apps. If anyone wants to know which app to drive for delivering food that's better, it's Grubhub.
Grubhub. Do you have a
Grubhub over Postmates?
Do you have a referral code? Can we get some signups for you?
Oh, probably. I don't. Sure. You know what? If you're listening to this and you want a referral code for either Postmates or Grubhub, shoot me a DM on Twitter at Joey Devine.
Yeah, I really honestly should, because the reason I did Uber for like a month as a sort of hobby, but I did it just for the sign-up bonus, where a buddy was like, hey, if you do this, we'll both get $500. And I was like, I have a free month. I will do this. And so but also I wish I actually should be promoting like sign up new drivers. It's kind of fun. I just wouldn't make it your full-time gig.
No,
because it's very scary and there's no way out of it. I think I had an Uber driver in Vegas over the summer at Summer League who was explaining to me that now Uber you can lease your car from Uber. And I was like, you should not be doing that.
No, it's really like working for like a mining company now.
Right. You pay for your food on script. Like it's like you should not do that.
These eggs only cost 7 rides.
Exactly. No, the Super Bowl, I watched it. I have an annual Super Bowl party. Lots of children now that I guess my friend, my peer group has reproduced a lot of them. So we're watching the game. Defensive battle, as they say. Very, very low scoring. Julian Edelman, who receiver for the Patriots. I know you know football, but I don't know if all of our listeners do.
I actually postmated to Julian Edelman one time.
Did you postmate him PEDs?
No, it was it was like a fancy Italian restaurant. But here, let me tell you something about Julian Edelman's Postmates order. He in the like driver notes section, he writes, "Tip you if fast." Which, look, if anyone should know that speed is overvalued, it's a white wide receiver, if you ask me.
That's a Super Bowl MVP you're talking to.
He called me Chief, I'm going to say 15 times in 17 seconds.
What's your take on Chief as far as a casual? You hate Chief? I go back and forth on Chief.
Worse than Boss.
See, I go back and forth on both of them.
Buddy is probably worse than all three, but Chief is. If you look like Julian Edelman and you're talking to like a driver making less than minimum wage and you're calling him Chief, it's a sarcastic thing. You know what I mean?
That's true. Where does bro fall? Is bro its own category?
It depends.
Because bro's the worst.
It's a tone issue, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like you can be calling someone bro as like, and it's funny, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like if you reuse one of those things, and honestly, Edelman could have been high out of his mind on his his human growth hormone. But I feel like if you're just talking casually to someone and you reuse any of those things like multiple times in a short window, that's when it gets annoying. If you call me Chief one time, we're cool. I think that's kind of fun. I think it's fun. Call me Boss one time. All right, I like it. Okay. Kind of makes me feel good. Anyway, so in this defensive battle, after the defensive battle, Calais Campbell, who's a defensive end in the NFL, he tweeted, the offense only scores 13 points, and they give the MVP to Julian Edelman, but the defense only gave up 3 points, and Stephon Gilmore had a forced fumble, an interception, 3 pass breakups, and 5 tackles. SMH, no respect for the masterpiece on defense. And actually, that wasn't Calais Campbell, that was Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert just can't get over how no one respects defense anymore. I got you, Joey. Wow, you
really did.
It's very early for you. I know you've woken up very early in LA to take this call.
Well, I was not prepared for the Shyamalan-esque twist ending of that factoid. Yeah, Rudy Gobert, man. First off, I know a lot of people were talking about how you shouldn't make fun of him because of him crying because of like mental health issues and like toxic masculinity. And normally I would agree because I believe all that stuff exists, except for literally the funniest reason to cry. For someone to cry is when they're crying when they didn't win an award. Like if that was Anne Hathaway, I would also be laughing. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know the exact scenarios. A person can cry for any number of reasons.
Yes.
I'm not trying to take
all the time.
Yeah. When Julian Edelman tips me 20%, I cry. Yeah, you cry a little bit. No, I was thinking. So the most out of context, embarrassing thing, like you could have seen me cry at.
Mm-hmm.
I played on a frisbee team, like a ultimate frisbee team for people over the age of 33. It was called Masters. So I was on a Masters Frisbee team. That we
33.
Do what?
Why 33?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know if they had, a bunch of accountants figuring out that was like the breakpoint age where you could get more people to repay their association and club fees.
Is it because that's when Jesus died?
It could be. It could be. That's when the athleticism really drops off. They decided. But anyway, so I felt like I put in a lot of effort to be on this team. Like I moved around, like, you're not getting paid. It's all for fun, quote unquote. Like I'd been battling injury. I'd actually gone to a doctor to get like a, I forgot the shot in my foot. Just so like.
Cortisone?
Yeah, I got a cortisone shot. Like,
what are you doing, Keith?
Man, I was just trying to get on the field. And then like, I wasn't being put in the game over a couple people who were worse than me. And we lost in the semifinals, and it wasn't the semifinals. It was the fact that I didn't get in the game, and I felt like I'd really spent a lot of money and gotten a lot of effort to be there. If Twitter had seen me crying, and then Isaiah Thomas had like crying emoji laughed at me, I would have felt bad. He would have been right, but I was like I was literally upset and emotional and probably tired or whatever it was in that moment. You cry, moment of weakness. So that's why I don't love, that's where it feels a little bit like toxic masculinity with the NBA guys just, kind of, he's talking to his mom, right? He was talking to his mom and he cried.
I mean, he was talking about his mom.
Okay.
When he cried. Look, also a 7-foot person crying is also just kind of funny.
Oh, but, see, now you're bullying on him, Joey.
The other thing is like, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Like, he's made 2 All-NBA teams.
Well, so but that's an argument for him. I mean,
but no one wants to see anyone play defense in an All-Star game.
That is also a fair argument.
And it's a game that doesn't matter. It
did literally cost him $1 million, which
I understand.
Maybe he already spent.
When I found that out later, I would definitely cry if I didn't get $1 million.
It is weird. He's an All-NBA center. He's a Defensive Player of the Year. And it is weird that he still never made an All-Star game. That part's weird. And you do have this weird like validation with NBA players, that when you're talking about a guy's career, you talk about him as an All-Star. And so it is kind of strange that Rudy Gobert is not an All-Star. It was a bizarre vote from the coaches. I mean, I argued on our last show, I understand him not being on there because, again, I favor excitement. Popularity is like one factor I consider personally in my fictional All-Star vote. Like, and he doesn't have the excitement or the like the national like appeal. But also LaMarcus Aldridge, that's lame. Obviously, I think we're talking about replacing LaMarcus Aldridge with Rudy Gobert, and like that's fair. Like, why do the coaches always put LaMarcus Aldridge on there?
He's tall Joe Johnson, dude. You got to have him on.
He really is. So, the All-Star reserves were announced, and I feel like that was the main big weird one. Was just, I guess, Klay Thompson getting in. I thought Klay getting in and LaMarcus getting in was weird over Gobert, and I thought Doncic. But also, so then the Jazz, and I guess this is part of the Jazz, just maybe having their guys back.
This made me insane.
The Jazz decided they're going to present Adam Silver with an all-star reserve selection committee idea that would consist of former NBA players, coaches, scouts, analysts, would use regular and advanced stats. I mean,
you're dropping the most important, the jazziest part of
the player's
statement.
Character.
Yeah. It would use advanced stats and also take into account players' character.
Yeah, that is embarrassing.
which is them basically saying Draymond Green will never be an all-star ever again.
Right. Draymond didn't even make it. Nothing to worry about. I've also heard the Jazz are going to propose another committee. It's going to re-examine previous season's Rookie of the Year awards, focusing on technicalities. So I think the Jazz are also pitching that one.
Are they going to figure out a way to say Luka Doncic isn't a rookie because he played professionally in All-Star
yes.
in Europe last year?
Yes, absolutely. No, honestly, this is more embarrassing. This Jazz response, I think, is more embarrassing than the Rookie of the Year arguments from them last year. I don't know if that was team. I was team Donovan Mitchell until he wore that rookie definition sweatshirt, and I'm like, oh no, I'm out. I can't support that. That looks sad.
It's still sad when I think about it. Like, it's just a very like my mom will sue you response in both accounts. You know what I mean? When that kid will talk about when a kid is getting like picked on or whatever, and he says like he talks about how his parents will sue their parents or whatever.
Were there any other All-Star reserves? Did you have any other comments on the All-Star reserve teams, or did you feel good about it? Were you outraged by Luka Doncic? I'm still honestly outraged by Luka Doncic. I felt like he's a star. He's the best player on the Mavs. They'd be like a lottery team without him, and he's averaging like 28 and 8. It seems like he should be an all-star, but I guess the coaches disagree.
I agree he should be an all-star. I personally think that this sucks now. Like, look, if the fans want to see, like, Luka Doncic and Derrick Rose, they should see it. It's a game that doesn't matter. It should be 100% fan vote again. I don't care if it's representative of the season. I think joke all-star votes are hilarious and good. Like, who cares?
Is this
like the writers, the coaches, the players, they all have a chance to like recognize people on the awards that matter later.
I would actually be fine with going back to a fan vote if I understood how to vote for the All-Stars. Because I did not this year. I was supposed to. If I Google a guy's name, is that a vote? Like, did I accidentally vote for Andrew Harrison for All-Star 10 times in the last like 2 weeks? I didn't know how to vote. I feel like if they went back to like you could submit one online, like with your NBA.com login or something. Or if they went back to the in arena, like the paper ballots. I don't know if this is a conservative notion that it has to be a paper ballot to count or something. Maybe Twitter votes can count for 3/5 of a vote, something like that.
Maybe you could like Snapchat emojis
or with that too. So like if the fan vote could be more than just like when the fan vote became. Like last year, if you tweet NBA vote or retweet NBA vote, okay, guys, this is now one. It's ridiculous, and it causes the imbalance to the big market teams to be even more pronounced.
But also, it's promoting shitty tweets, which I'm always against.
Right. I mean, I did love the gamesmanship of the Twitter vote last year, which they got rid of, where you could replace like an I with a 1, so it wouldn't count. Or like you could write Lonzo Ball is totally better than Mike Conley, but in Lonzo Ball, one of those L's you put a 1, then you put NBA vote, and then you get those Lakers fans to retweet it, and that's a vote for Mike Conley. So I mean, I did like that, but yeah, I don't. Like I thought the fan vote was kind of wrong, but now I feel like they've gotten too boring. It's gone too boring, and I definitely don't need a boring committee of analysts and writers and character whatever. How do you even get on the character committee? Is that a Jim Boylan led thing?
I think Jim Boylan announced it's Jim Boylan's in charge. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, though, I'm pro putting Jim Boylan in charge of everything in the NBA. I just want to see how weird it would get.
So another weird thing with the All-Star team and making it even, I don't know, not as important or kind of breaking up the historical context is Adam Silver, by executive order, naming Dirk Nowitzki and Dwayne Wade to the All-Star teams.
Which fucking rules, by the way.
How drunk with power is Adam Silver?
Here's my question about it. How weirdly left out does Vince Carter feel?
Well, can they at least put him in the dunk contest for one dunk?
That's he should get one dunk and then they just all give him 10s and call him forever dunk champion.
What they should do is they should secretly have, I don't know if they can raise or lower a goal without anyone knowing, but they should let Vince dunk on like a 9-foot, 8-inch goal.
I mean, he can dunk on a 10-foot. We've seen it.
He can dunk great, but he cannot win a dunk contest anymore.
No,
that's what I'm saying. But it's not. Maybe if they lowered the goal 4 inches, 6 inches, or something, maybe he still could. You know, the illusion will still be there, and I think that'd be great. But also, I mean, Dirk and Dwayne Wade, Vince Carter is not in the same category.
Sure, but he still is a Hall of Famer.
But he's a Hall of Famer by longevity. Where I think Dirk and Dwayne Wade could have retired 10 years ago and would have been Hall of Famers.
Yeah, sure.
And Vince Carter is like a feel good Hall of Famer of he had a really big peak for 5 years. I don't remember what the Vince Carter peak run was, but I feel like there's a lot of this positive feeling towards him based over his last 10 years of I'm just going to embrace being a role player, guys.
Yeah, building rooms for what's his face,
Deontay Davis.
Yeah.
The beautiful Deontay Davis. Let's move on to
make him put lotion on his skin. All right, keep going.
Put the lotion in the basket. Kristaps Porzingis got traded in a shocking move. I haven't heard the Roundball Rock reaction yet.
We haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay. Well, so we'll spill the beans. What was your reaction, Joey Devine, to the Knicks giving up on the face of their franchise, their future hope? They've abandoned their child.
It seems totally insane to me. I understand all these Knicks fans are like going like full process about this, where they're like, yeah, we got off Tim Hardaway Jr. and Courtney Lee and got these picks back, but it's like, you could have gotten off those contracts without trading your franchise player. And also, like, this summer, like, he's a restricted free agent. It seems totally insane to me. Like, I would rather have a healthy Kristaps Porzingis than probably who that second guy they're going to end up with is. Now, if they know they're getting Durant and Kyrie, then it's like a different story, but I don't know. It seems like a lot of time.
Which two max contracts are the Knicks giving out next year? What's your guess right now?
If I had to guess,
yeah,
it would be like Kyrie Irving and Boogie Cousins. So
that would be a win. You'd call that a win, wouldn't you?
That's a win for sure. Yeah. But maybe not, you know what I mean? Like maybe, but that's like at the best case scenario. You know what I mean? I have them down for a Chris Middleton, DeMarcus Cousins. Yeah,
and that team was going to be not good.
Wouldn't you rather have Porzingis and Cousins?
Well, yeah, of course. I'm so confused by it. I hesitate to go too strong either way because of being wrong on every big trade for the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. You know, like the Paul George trade, the Boogie Cousins trade, which was a home run win for the Kings. I don't know.
Buddy's pretty good now.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was a home run win for the Kings.
Oh, for the Kings.
Sorry. Yeah. Like Anthony Davis would literally kill a person to have Buddy Hield on his team right now. Buddy Hield is amazing. And then like both Jimmy Butler trades I thought were kind of not great, and then turns out they were both excellent for the team getting rid of Jimmy Butler. But I mean, Dennis Smith Jr. is probably not good. I mean, there's no we don't think he's good.
Well,
he might be good.
With point guards though, teams give up on young point guards way too early. Like, look, Moutier we thought was not good, right?
Oh, but they traded Porzingis for a hopeful Moutier.
No, but I just mean, and Dennis Smith Jr. has been way better than Moutier was his first 2 years.
Yeah,
and like Moutier's turned out to be like, you know,
okay,
good. Like, I mean,
he's not.
Yes, he's not good, but like, if you had asked me if I thought Moutier was going to be in the league 2 years ago, I would have said no. And now I think he's going to be like a rotation point guard for.
You nailed it. Rotation point guard.
Yeah.
In my mind, they traded Porzingis for a completely replaceable point guard. Like,
but it's not about that.
It's about the cap space too?
Yeah, it's 100% the cap space. This was a straight up salary dump.
But you could have had the cap space.
Insane.
No, it's insane. You could have had the cap space and the salary.
What team gives up their franchise player for cap space?
I like the theory that James Dolan saw Dennis Smith Jr. have a triple-double in his last game on the Mavericks and was like, screw it. We're doing it right now. Just give me that guy. That guy's good. I mean, I think the Mavericks got better.
100%.
This season.
Yes.
Like this season.
Like, because here's the thing about Tim Hardaway Jr. He's not very fun to watch.
No.
And that's a stretch. Like, he's not. I don't like watching Tim Hardaway Jr. play basketball. And he's overpaid. But he is an NBA player, like a pretty good one, especially if he's like your fourth option.
Yeah, like he's never played with a point guard. He's played with
Harrison Barnes.
I'll say he's played with your boy Moutier, but beyond that, he's never played with a point guard. I mean, I think he's going to thrive. Not thrive, but he's going to have some great looks playing with Luka Doncic.
Harrison Barnes and Tim Hardaway Jr. are good NBA players if they're your third and fourth options.
Yeah.
And guess what? They're now the Mavs' third and fourth options.
I mean, I haven't seen Courtney Lee play more than 60 seconds this season, but he's a totally fine veteran, just filling the gaps, like play a few minutes, knock down some open shots. Like that's a fine player.
Yeah, he can continue being slightly worse Danny Green.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of an insult to Danny Green. I think Courtney Lee's best days long behind him, but still, I mean, DeAndre Jordan, they're not going to miss him. Maxi Kleber's ready.
Maxi Kleber is dope, dude. I love Maxi Kleber.
Yeah, I feel bad for Porzingis. Obviously, they think they're getting Kevin Durant next season is like the hope, but that's just optimistic. I feel like that's all Knicks people being optimistic that there is a long-term like moves in place that make this Porzingis trade make sense.
That's the thing is like, when have the Knicks ever played like three-dimensional chess? Never. So why is everyone assuming that's what they're doing now? This, to me, it just feels like the Amari Stoudemire summer all over again.
When they sign Boogie Cousins, that will be their new Amari Stoudemire.
And by the way, Boogie rules, so that would also be a win. Like, look, I'm a Warriors fan, and I have enjoyed the shit out of the Boogie Cousins experience this year.
I haven't even seen it. You got to catch me up. I have been legitimately NBA depressed because of the Memphis Grizzlies, because of the unbelievable, horrible coaching things that are done on a nightly basis for 2 months now, where like I literally like I can't watch NBA. I watch the Grizzlies game and I'm like too mad to watch. I go upstairs to bed and I watch Netflix on my iPad. Like I haven't even seen a Warriors game in a while. So the Boogie integration is going great so far, right?
It's so fun. Like, remember how 2 months ago it looked like the Warriors all hated each other and were falling apart?
Right.
Yeah, now that it's not like that at all anymore.
So
Boogie Cousins came back.
So Boogie is the glue.
Yeah, he only plays like 24 minutes max. He's fouled out in like 4 of the games. Well, it was like 2, but he's been in foul trouble a lot of them. But he's like, he passes a lot. He's just really fun. Rules, man.
Is this the dream for Coach for David Thorpe, who was always like, DeMarcus Cousins needs to lose 80 pounds? What's like, well, if he plays, if he plays
pretty heavy.
But I'm saying, but if he plays 24 minutes, maybe he doesn't need to.
Well, he gets winded pretty fast based on how fast they play. But it doesn't matter because, like, he sucks up so much of the middle. Like, Klay Thompson has had like more dunks in the last like 2 weeks than he had all of last season. just because the middle is just wide open now. It's rules. It's so tight.
Well, so as a Warriors fan, and one you're an Anthony Randolph, Ekpe Udo level Warriors fan, a We Believe Warriors fan.
Ekpe Udo, Anthony Randolph is really like the angel and the devil on your shoulder as a Warriors fan.
So with down the rumors of the Knicks having space for Durant and this Porzingis trade, and with Durant's agent handler, what's his name? Rich Kleinman saying he's going to run the Knicks one day. It seems like maybe it is set up for Durant to leave the Warriors, and I feel like that's something that every NBA fan kind of wants, and NBA media, and maybe Warriors fans, maybe actual Warriors want this. What's your opinion? Like, you're more than happy for Durant to leave after the season, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say happy, but I would. It's complicated because part of me does just want to go back to rooting for a normal basketball team.
But you wouldn't be normal. But yeah, I don't think you wouldn't be right. You wouldn't be as criticized. I feel like the Warriors are weirdly unfairly criticized. I've always been like, I don't know why we're so mad at the super team that built through the draft. Like they won 73 games with a team they drafted.
Right.
So I don't know why we're so mad at them, just because, I mean, it wasn't great, but it was obviously a weird coincidence. The salary cap jumped. Other teams made dumb moves, and it worked out that Durant came. So I'm not like crazy mad about it.
The salary cap jump thing is a little, people overrate that though, I think, too.
Because that's the only way Durant could have come.
I think they would have traded Bogut, Barnes, and Iguodala to sign him anyway.
Okay.
But that's just me, because they were planning on him because he opted out early and all of those contracts went off the books the next summer, which is when they thought he was going to be a free agent, and they were planning on signing him then. It had been a thing they had been working on for a long time, is all I'm saying.
Fair. So they played their hand correctly. Why is everyone so mad?
Anyway, but it's also exhausting.
Sure.
The Kevin Durant experience is just kind of exhausting.
Yeah.
Between the Bill Simmons podcasts and the
salad eating.
Yeah, it just, and just like the like being in the burner accounts, being in like children's DMs, telling them to like telling them to go F themselves or whatever. It's just like, it's been trying. And also, up until this year, like, I think I said this on your podcast last year, where part of me, I could feel myself becoming like a Kobe Bryant style Laker fan, but for Steph Curry, where it was like I was more of a Steph Curry fan than a Warrior fan, because it felt like Durant kind of gets the credit Steph should be getting, it felt like. But I don't know. At this point now, I'm just kind of like, I'm in it for the ride. I do think it's Knicks or Warriors. I think it's down to just that, because from a PR standpoint, the Knicks are the only place that makes sense, where it's like, I can save this dog shit franchise. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but so you would be okay with him leaving, because I mean the Warriors would still be incredible. And then you wouldn't have to deal with the Durant circus.
Exactly. I would be okay with him leaving. I would also be okay with him staying, because it feels like things have settled a bit.
I want him to go, just for the entertainment. Yeah. We gotta get the next little
I'd be
better.
Fine with that.
Final topic to wrap up. We can't podcast without mentioning the blockbuster trade, which shook up Super Bowl Sunday. Rodney Hood for Wade Baldwin. Here's
my question for you, Keith, a Memphis Grizzlies fan.
Yeah.
Dave Yeager.
Oh yeah,
Wasn't he obsessed with Rodney Hood?
He's still upset. He's built a house for Rodney Hood.
That was
a room on his house for Rodney Hood. Yeah.
Do you think he's mad his team once again passed on the opportunity to acquire Rodney Hood?
I think he's a little mad, but he understands that he already has a Buddy Hield and a Bogdan Bogdanovic, and there's just not enough room for another slightly undersized shooting guard. I do like that it's like a Grizzlies dream cast off Wade Baldwin and Rodney Hood, and the Cavs are going to have to cut Kobe Simmons once Grizzlies two-way player to keep Wade Baldwin.
A lot of people, when they shoot a basket, they yell Kobe. They mean Kobe Bryant, but when I do it, I mean Kobe Simmons.
Yeah. Yeah, not great. I don't know. Does this move the needle for the Trailblazers, who need to make
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Like, they got rid of Nick Stauskas. I mean, I guess that's good. Anytime you can get rid of Nick Stauskas, that's always a positive.
I like that another NBA franchise traded 2 future second-round picks to not move the needle as well, as a Grizzlies fan. So that at least I'm like, oh, cool. Trailblazers did it too. Fine. Doesn't look as bad for us.
I mean, what I will say about Rodney Hood is he does kind of fit the profile of weird guys Terry Stotts makes useful again. He's basically like a guard Maurice Harkless, you know what I mean?
Doesn't he have like longer, or he has a wingspan deficiency? Isn't he like one of 3 guys in the
short arms?
I don't know if he actually does, but I think he's close to having a shorter wingspan than his height. Which
so does Blake Griffin, though.
Yeah. So that worked out for him. Anyway, Joey, I got to wrap up. You got to get to your...
there's one thing you didn't ask me.
What's that, Joey?
What did I eat for breakfast?
Oh my gosh. Wow. We would have had angry 5 listeners.
And the answer is a Red Bull.
You went to the 7-Eleven, got that Red Bull?
Mm-hmm.
It's a perfect breakfast. I do apologize for not asking you.
No problem. I just didn't want your listeners to be mad.
It's good. They're only mad when I forget about breakfast and when we have Matt Moore on. Anyway, Joey, tell people about the Roundball Rock podcast, and then I'll hang up.
Yeah, you should subscribe to my funny NBA podcast, Roundball Rock. I host it with Sean Keane. Also, if you're a fan of Dunked On or not a fan of Dunked On with Danny LaRue and Nate Duncan, we released an album. We do a fake Dunked On called Slammed Up with Brett Slamson and Randy Ledoux. And we released an album that is available for whatever you want to pay us at roundballrock.bandcamp.com. So
yeah, check it out.
Pretty funny.
I have downloaded. I'm in the vein of Slammed Up. I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna do my own parody show. It's just gonna be called Locked On Ads. I'm just gonna read ads. I'm just gonna release just ads, and it's gonna be called. I don't know if I can do that. I mean, like locked. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna call it Locked On Ads. I don't see any problem there. There's no infringement.
No, locked is a word.
Locked is a word. Well, I'm gonna lowercase the L. That's what I'm gonna do.
You should uppercase the K though.
That's good. Joey, thanks so much for coming on, and
thanks, Keith.
Look forward to talking with you again soon. All right, thanks to Joey for coming on. As we always say, if you like Fast Break Breakfast, you will love Roundball Rock, one of my favorite NBA podcasts. If you want to support our show, you do that at patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. Another month of Pick'em will be starting. So if you want to join the Patreon at $3 a month, you can get in with that. The monthly winner of picking the NBA games against the spread will get a prize. So that's fun to do. We always have a lot of fun trying to pick those games against the spread and see if you can beat all the hosts, which is usually John, who is the best of us picking. Although I tied him last month. John hasn't won in several months. He's feeling very bad about it. But the number of contestants has grown and grown. So it's kind of hard. Anyway, support our show, patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. You can follow me on Twitter at fastbreakbreak. All right, you guys are the best. Thanks for listening. And remember, breakfast is the most important thing.
Yeah, never apologize for being G&G. Fair break, man. You understand?
SeatGeek saves you time and saves you money. Two of the more important commodities in our lives these days. They aggregate ticket selling sites together, so you don't have to go to 8 sites and then, I'm going to look at the 9th one now because I'm not quite sure. I was totally that way, of course. And then they also rank every ticket based on value. So you look at the section you want to sit in, find that big green dot, the darker green, the better. You'll start to experience just endorphins when you see that green dot and know that you're getting an awesome deal on the ticket. I used SeatGeek to go to a Bucks Wizards game, got awesome seats there for my fiance and me. So the way to get started with them, download the SeatGeek app and enter that familiar promo code
Fast break.
by using that code to get $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. That's promo code
Fast break.
for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Let them know that you came from us.
Fast break. John is an asshole. Fast break.